But first of all, are you still in touch with your friends from school? My next guests aren't just old school friends from Stroud, but they're now business partners. Emma Amoscato and Faye Ingram, who are in their 40s, always stayed in touch. But when Emma designed a new free app to help people with mental health problems, she realised she needed some help with someone who's got a business head. And that's her friend who's in the studio. It's called the Smile app, designed to help the mental health of those people with chronic conditions like long COVID or cancer, and inspired by Emma's own experience of anxiety and PTSD. Well, Emma joins me from Bedfordshire, where she lives now, and Faye's with me in the studio. Hello to both of you.
Hello. Hi, Nicky.
Hello. Let's start with you, Emma, because this was your idea, wasn't it? And the app has been launched. We'll tell people how they can get hold of it a little bit later. But what was the idea behind it?
So, as you said, it grew out of my own experiences. So both of my children have anaphylactic food allergies, and my son used to have severe asthma. So we had a lot of hospital stays, a lot of scary experiences, and it really made my anxiety skyrocket. And I was also diagnosed with PTSD. Then my husband was diagnosed with incurable cancer, and we got through into a whole new world of, scans, survival rates, all the fear and worry and overwhelm that came with that. And after looking for support for myself, I started realizing, it doesn't really matter what the health condition is. The core of those challenges are the same, the worry, the overwhelm, the lack of control. And I started thinking about how I could help others who might be in the same situation, both the people with the conditions, but the family members as well, who it really affects.
Yeah, so it's about, physical conditions, isn't it? Mostly, I guess PTSD isn't, but mostly physical conditions. You go for the scans, the appointments, as you say, all of that. But it's just giving you extra support for your mental health along the way.
Absolutely. So, our focus is on the mental health and the wellbeing side, because, there's lots of great support out there to deal with the actual condition itself. But we know the statistics show, how many people then struggle with their mental health because of all those ongoing challenges. And it's not the same as when your mental health is affected as a primary diagnosis, because it's something you can't take away that health condition. You can't necessarily fix it. It's not necessarily going to get better. So it's about how do you live alongside diabetes, asthma, long COVID, but how do you learn to live well when you can't take away all those difficulties and those challenges that you're facing.
So actually, you wanted to do something to help other people, and from first-hand experience what you needed and still need now.
Absolutely, yeah. So, after my own experiences and talking to lots of other people in the similar situations, thinking, what can we do to help? Because you often get pushed down a certain pathway in the NHS, which is not necessarily the right one when you're dealing with these kind of challenges. And it can be difficult to get help outside of that. There's lots of great charities, but they're overwhelmed. Not everybody can afford private therapy. And so I wanted to create something that was really easy and accessible, but that really spoke to people in that situation. So we cover things like how to come to terms with the diagnosis, how to deal with carer guilt, how to relax at hospital appointments, all these really specific things that we know people are going through.
Yeah, all of those things people will have gone through listening to the radio this morning. And just anxiety if you're a family member or the person diagnosed. So you just wanted to do something to help. It's a new app. And you've got Faye involved, who's in the studio. Hello.
Hello.
So your friendship, first of all, goes back a few years. You've known each other for years, haven't you?
Yeah, over 30 years. We went to Stroud High School together, and we were friends from year 7 all the way through. Had a lovely friendship group, and we all still keep in touch and meet up regularly. But Emma gave me a call a couple of years ago and said, I'm working on this thing. I really want you involved. I don't know what that looks like. So I said, great.
Whatever the thing is, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in. Let's do it.
Yeah. So obviously we've heard it came from Emma. The idea came from Emma, but you were able to help build, and I don't know how you go about building apps, but you were able to help with that.
Yeah, it was new to both of us, to be honest. I've got a background in finance and business management. So and Emma's background is very different to that, obviously, with the mental health side. So, just a match made in heaven in terms of bringing our skill sets together. We've navigated through the building of the app, and it's been a big learning curve. Lots of language and words we didn't know existed. And we found a great app development company who have held our hands all the way through it and worked with us really closely as well. So,
yeah, because there might be quite a few app development companies out there. There's a lot of new apps, aren't there?
Definitely.
Yeah, and it's trying to think of something that's different, obviously, that people are going to notice and then want to download it and use all the resources. So what did you want to include, Emma? Because, there's a lot on there. We'll come to how people can find it shortly, but what have you included on that app?
Yeah, so I think, as I said, the core thing for us was just covering those topics that other apps don't. There's millions of mental health apps out there, but some of them can feel very generic when you're going through specific issues around a physical health condition. So really tapping into those. We also wanted to use different approaches because often you get pushed down the cognitive behavioural therapy path, which can be really useful, but people can struggle with it because it makes the premise is their fears are irrational, and often they're not when you're dealing with a physical health condition because you've had some really traumatic, difficult experiences. So we use a number of different approaches so people can find something that matches with them. And also, it was really important to us that we use clinical experts as well. So our clinical experts have done various videos and audios and written tracks so that people can find what they need. And there's a way of going through the app where it tailors it to you as well. You can say how you're feeling, what challenges you're facing, and it will recommend the content that is, easy to access in that moment, whether it's in the middle of the night or it's in the waiting room when you're just like, oh, I need a little bit more support right now.
So you would tell the app how you're feeling at that moment, and then, yes, it would somehow just search everything on there, all the videos or the audio from the experts, and try and find what would help you at that moment.
Absolutely. So you can say, oh, I'm feeling anxious today. It's about a hospital appointment or it's about a scan or whatever it may be. And you answer a couple of questions and it will give you a list to say, right, we think this could help you in this moment.
Yeah, I guess that some of it might be practical. Some of it might be just looking after your well-being at that particular time.
Yeah, it's a combination of things. So there's a lot on there to kind of learn more about how your brain works and how things process, but also a lot of exercises like mindfulness and grounding exercises that when your mind is just running away with you or you need to just be able to switch off or relax, there's some guided things on there that can really help you in that moment.
There's a lot on there, isn't there? Yeah, so we'll learn about how we can find the app, how we can download it, and a little bit more detail about it in the next few minutes. Faye and Emma are with us, having gone to school together and now putting together this free app to help people. As you say, it could be any stage of the journey. It could be, going to a hospital appointment. It could be if you're a family member, helping someone through the whole experience, but obviously finding it really difficult with mental health yourself. It's all there. It's all there on the app to try and help you out. So more details to come in the next few minutes. First of all, we're talking to Emma and Faye about the new app. It's called the Smile app, as we've been hearing. It aims to help those people living with a chronic condition, or if someone in your family has got a condition, if they're living with cancer, they're living with long COVID or something else, and really aiming to help their mental health. And Emma has come up with the idea and is working with Faye, their school friends from Stroud High School. Few years ago, Faye?
Just a few
years ago. Okay, good. And Emma is with us as well. So, Faye, first of all, we were just talking about a monthly meetup. So if people kind of sign up for the app, you can actually interact with other people who have signed up for the app as well.
Yeah, that's right. We wanted to bring an aspect of community into what we're doing. As you say, so many people are going through different but similar challenges at the same time. So we have a monthly community meetup where people can sign up. It's over Zoom. It's free to join. And we will just have a conversation and talk about how we're feeling. If people don't want to talk, that's absolutely fine. If they just want to kind of sit back and listen, or we might bring a bit of a topic to the conversation if we feel that, just to get something going. And we also have some meetups with some of our specialists as well. So last month we've just had Dr. Shravat did a session on coping with waiting times. So whether you're waiting for an appointment to come through or a diagnosis or something similar, he talked us through a few techniques that we can use just to help us in the moment or to prepare for waiting for something around there as well.
Yes, because waiting times are quite long, aren't they, at the moment? And so it's either, getting that waiting time through and you think, how am I going to wait that long? How am I going to cope until that appointment? Or maybe it's cancelled and then you've got an even longer wait, and it's just dealing with that because you build up to an appointment, a really important appointment, don't you?
You do, and so many things can rely on, once I've had that appointment, this, that or the other, and then like you say, if something's cancelled or you've got a really long wait, you can start going through so many different things in your head and asking different questions, and the worry sets in. So he talked us through some great tips and tools, and he has got a piece in the app around that very subject as well. So it's about equipping people just to find the things that work well for them in those moments where the disappointment comes, or the frustration, or the anger, or those different feelings.
And that can be caused, as you say, by a letter cancelling an appointment.
Exactly.
And that can, cause real problems. Yeah. Emma, how can people get hold of the app then? Easy to download and join and sign into and log into and everything else?
Yeah, completely. It's free and easy to get. So the easiest way is to go to our website, which is wearesmileapp.com. And then the links are there. You can download it on Apple or download it on Android, whichever you're on. And get using it straight away. Yeah,
so wearesmileapp.com is how you find it. And have you had much feedback so far? What are people saying about it who signed up?
Oh, we've had some wonderful feedback. It's been really lovely to hear from people who have been struggling or haven't been able to find anything that really meets their needs, or have been in some really difficult, dark places and feel like somebody suddenly gets it, or is kind of listening to the challenges they're facing. So, every piece of feedback is so lovely to hear.
And it must feel very satisfying when you've just had this idea, actually making it happen, obviously, with your friend here. Everybody's kind of worked together to make it happen, and already it's making a difference.
Completely. As Faye said, we had no idea what we were doing or how to develop an app. So it's been a huge learning curve. And to go from just an idea that I originally had driving in the car to now something, fully functioning that is out in the world that Faye and I have brought to life and is actually having an impact on people. Yeah, it's wonderful. And, just looking back at where I was and thinking, I'm so glad that other people have now got this when they're in that same position.
Well, yes, I might get a few more people signing up here in Gloucestershire. So it's at wearesmileapp.com. And thank you for telling us all about it and sharing your whole story with us today, Emma.
Thank you for having us, Nicky.
Thank you so much, Emma Amoscato, and also Faye Ingram, who's been in the studio working together on this remotely because you're in different places, but making it happen, which is the important thing, isn't it? So wearesmileapp.com, and keep up the good work.
Thank you. Lovely to meet you, Nicky.
Thank you very much for coming into the studio. Emma and Faye chatting about that new project.